Good day, Power Couples. This is Carlos and Catherine Green of Power Couples Rock, and we are extremely excited about introducing our OutServed Power Couples Challenge. Right?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
You said that correctly.
Our OutServed Couples Challenge. Very excited about it. And so with the OutServed Couples Challenge, we have couples that are going to be competing against each other in a very friendly competition. And my wife, Catherine Green, here is going to tell you a little bit more about what the OutServed Couple Challenge is all about.
Well, Carlos just gave you a little sneak peek of it, but it is an opportunity for couples to outserve one another. They'll be involved in engaging activities and creative activities and trying to outserve one another. They want to invest and inspire not just themselves, but inspire and invest in other couples. So they're going to be compete with other couples, and we're going to figure out who outserved each other.
And how much
we have judging and all of that that's going to take place, and they can do all of this for, guess what, $75 or less.
And so they will be judged on 3 criteria. That criteria is authenticity, creativity, and the wow factor. And we've got judges that will judge them on that. And then we'll have 3 winners. We'll have a husband winner, a wife winner, and we'll also have
a couples winner.
And we will have a live date and cannot wait. Catherine, tell them when the live date is.
Well, that live date, hold on, it's going to be Sunday, February the 26th at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, what you'll need to do is go to powercouplesrock.com and you will be able to register for that, and you'll get to see the wonderful couples, and you'll get to hear about all of the challenges that they did and how they outserved one another. So make sure you mark that on your calendar and watch for the registration. Again, powercouplesrock.com, Sunday, February 26th at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And so if you're wondering who this beautiful couple is that we have on the screen with us tonight, this is one of the couples that's participating in the OutServed Couple Challenge. So you all, let's welcome all the way from Pennsylvania. Yes, Pennsylvania, Saleem and Rahisha. Wright. What's up, people?
Welcome.
I didn't know what else to do.
It's so good to see you all.
Yeah.
Likewise. So happy to see y'all.
Yes.
Good. We're super excited about this challenge and the other couples that are participating. But we know that people want to get to know you.
Yes.
A little bit.
All right.
They want to know you all. So please tell us, like, when did you guys get married? How long have you all been married? And anything else that you want us to know about you?
Sure. We got married June 10th. I know, that's because I usually always
June
have
10th?
him. I'm not done.
You said June
I
10th?
know, I'm not done.
Okay.
I'm not done.
I was about to
So anyway,
the
we got
dates.
married June 12th,
Okay, there you go.
2010.
Uh-huh.
So this year will be our 13th wedding anniversary. And we met at Palmer Theological Seminary. We were both going for our master's in divinity. So yeah, anything you want to add? Because you know it's always his and her side, right?
Yes.
She got the date correct. Thank God for that. Yeah, we met. Right? How we recognized each other? She actually stole my pen. I tell this story.
Not true.
Yes, I'd let you talk. It was my turn. Thank you. She stole a pen from me that she said I let her have, but she borrowed it because I didn't really know her at the time. So she borrowed the pen in class. And then when I went to ask for it back, she said it was hers. And so she ended up stealing a pen from me in seminary of all places.
And he fell in love.
Integrity is so important.
Yes, it's huge. It's huge.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. She stole the pen from you, then Saleem. Please tell me, was it like love at first sight, attraction?
Of course.
Like, what? Because if y'all met it similar.
No.
That's why he gave me the pen.
No.
I called campus security for she stole my pen.
No, definitely not love at first sight.
No, it wasn't love at first sight.
He's plain right. Like,
yeah,
my friend.
We were
that's it.
we started off as classmates.
Yes.
And then classmates, we all started hanging out together and became really good friends. So it kind of blossomed in, I would say, a very organic way. You know, we didn't see each other as for each other. Very early on and throughout our friendship, we never looked at each other in that way. So God kind of kept our blinders on, so to speak, from it going where it shouldn't have went by God's grace, because we weren't looking at each other like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So how long did you all date before you got married?
we didn't.
Well, fun fact, our first date was after we got engaged.
What?
Yes.
And here's why. You gotta hear a snippet of this.
We've got this.
Here's why.
So
I'll tell the short version.
go ahead.
Because we decided to court. So we courted. So we tell people we did not date,
Right.
and we explain the difference between courtship and dating. And courtship, you begin with a process knowing that this person and this relationship is going to end in marriage. And you have to identify a couple to whom you'll be accountable that will walk you through that process. And so once the Lord revealed to both of us, as well as our accountability, it all happened in prayer, same day. Neither of us said anything to the other until later on. And here that day, God had told each of us, he told him that I was his wife, me that I was my husband, and we call her Mama Rose, that we were going to get married. And so once the Lord then allowed us to bring it out, to tell it, that's when we started the courtship process. So in courtship, there are levels to your friendship and levels to building on that friendship. And that's why he says that we didn't date until after we got engaged. But that's a law, that's why we.
Well, how long was the courtship?
Yeah.
So I guess if you start from our friendship, you could say it probably was a 3-year process. But when we recognized what this really was, maybe a year.
It was about 2009.
Yeah, about a year and some change when we first realized, like, oh wow, we can be together. Like, this can be something permanent. It took us about a year and some change, but from the inception until we got married. Yeah.
So then, Saleem, how did you know at that point? I know there was an intentionality that you're going to court, and the intentionality is we're courting for marriage. This person, that's end result is what we're looking for. So in your process, what confirmed for you that Rahisha would be who you would be with?
Yeah, definitely. Prayer was a big part of that. And just really at the time, before I really looked at Rahisha like my wife, I remember talking to the Lord. I said, God, because I had been in relationships and I didn't know how to do relationships right. Like, most of the time I was in a relationship, I was an unbeliever. It wasn't until I became a believer that I was finally figuring a lot of stuff out, and relationships are one of them. And I remember telling the Lord, I said, God, if I'm never going to be married, I'm okay with that, because I was just content with me and him and trying to figure out my relationship with him. And it wasn't too long after that he revealed to me that Rahisha would be the one. And I was like, oh wow, that's phenomenal. But then I was like, I don't want to mess this up. So I know what not to do. How do I do it right? And a friend of ours told us about courtship. She said, you guys should consider courtship. And we was like, well, what is that?
Right. What is that?
So she gave us a book, and it was called Choosing God's Best by Dr. Don Ronikar. And we read the book cover to cover, and we followed the book. We said, we're going to do the process the way he lays it out. And that's how we went through the courting process, just literally following whatever he told us to do. Because we both realized we don't want to mess this relationship up,
right,
as we've done in the past with other relationships, being unbelievers and just living worldly lives and trying to just, do it the way the world tells us how to do it. And so worship really changed our lives greatly to be able to pursue each other in that way.
Oh, I love that. That's kind of like old school.
Yeah.
Very old school.
Good foundational.
Yeah. I think we understood like the definition to that degree. And I appreciate you sharing that. because I always share that with our sons. I think that's
We got two of them.
we have two that we can share that with. So I love that foundation of courtship that you all have received early on. I had a question for you, Rahisha. I want to find out for you. I know there are wonderful things that you could say about Saleem.
Sure.
And, we don't have all the time for you to say that, okay? But but if you can share with us like the characteristics that really drew you into this courtship with him, and then through your marriage, what are some of those characteristics that have shined or shone? I don't know.
Yes,
What shines on him.
Yep. So it started in seminary. I'll keep it short, right? He was just very deep, like in class. I'm just like, who was this guy? The questions he'd ask, or the comments that he would have, based around the deep theological studies. I'm like, I'm just here because the Lord told me to come, get me a good grade, and leave. Him, he was just like really, and it was just very impressive, very intriguing. And then throughout our marriage, the same, just really having the opportunity every Sunday. Once, like when he started, like I just miss listening to him every Sunday preach, because I would literally be on the edge of my seat, like every week. What he gonna say to that, right? And just seeing the phenomenal husband and father that he is, without having had that model in his life. It's just every day is just like, wow, the things that he does for our family, the partnership that we have a lot of shared responsibilities. He doesn't see some of the domestic things like you need to do that. Like he helps out in a lot of things. So we're definitely a team.
Well, it's good to hear that out
I
loud.
love that. Look, I love that
it.
connection.
Absolutely.
That's so
Oh, you told me stop hitting you, right?
Yes. He's a hitter. My wife's a hitter.
I know you're
He's a hitter.
right. Don't
He's
say
a
I was
hitter.
screaming.
I mean,
No,
not non-violent. Non-violent.
yeah, not
excited.
like
She's
I don't
excited.
beat him up. Yeah.
She's excitable. Yeah.
All right, so I have one last question for you all.
Sure.
I love your process of going through the courtship, right, Catherine? And then being intentional about your relationship. And you all are in a covenant relationship.
Right.
Can you tell us and our viewers, how do you honor that covenant on a daily basis? What does that look like for you all?
Well, I think it's just a constant reminder what the relationship was built on. Our foundation of our relationship was built on Christ, and so it's a daily reminder. Just encourage each other. Whether it's, did you do your devotions? How do you have any prayer requests? How can I pray for you? Just that constant daily reminder that Jesus is our foundation. And then after Christ, we built this on friendship. So we're very open with each other, very honest with each other. We get into and I know people try to use spirited debates as a synonym for argument, but because this is my friend, we banter a lot. Like we go back and forth on different topics.
Right.
It's not one of these things where I'm trying to, or we're trying to spare feelings to appease. We're trying to get the truth. Of course, we want to flower that with grace and love, but we want to make sure we're honest with each other because we are friends. We were friends first, and that really has been the thread through our marriage, that this is my best friend. And so if I can't be vulnerable and honest with her, then I can't really be like that with anybody. And so that friendship and making sure Christ is central to us really has kind of helped us endure almost 13 years of marriage. So I would say that for us.
Well, it sounds like instead of enduring, you all are really not striving, but you are conquering.
Yeah.
Right.
Together.
So together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Rahisha, I cut you off.
No, you're fine. I totally, agree. I just wanted to add too, for me, couple things, just the fear of the Lord, right? And just knowing that this covenant, what it was like, he talked about what it was built on, and knowing that God gave me a precious gift that I am to honor. And it's something I always desired to have children. I always desired to get married. And it's like, wow, God did that for me. So I'm not going to mess this up. And so one of the things that we do is we constantly work on our marriage. If there's a conference, we're there. If there's a Zoom, we're on it, right? Like anything that can help us to grow. Like he said, we're very open and honest. When we have sessions with our marriage mentors, we're honest. Like we're just straight up like open. Hey, this is how I feel. This is what he's doing. And I we're just very honest. And I just feel like when you're honest and you're vulnerable, that's when God can work. And I see him like always just working because we're just like, this is what it is.
It just makes my heart dance.
It's so life-giving. It's so life-giving because you guys are so authentic and pure and transparent and real with it. And we appreciate that.
Yes. That's why we're looking forward to seeing what you're going to show us for your OutServed challenge. Oh my goodness, I'm super excited.
We are so super excited. And so if you all are excited about this couple here, the Wrights, and what they're going to be doing to OutServe each other, please go to our social media pages with Power Couples Rock or our website, powercouplesrock.com, to register for the live show. You all will probably be blown away at what some of these couples are going to do. And again, if you want to support the Wrights too, go out there and follow us so that you can see what they're doing on their OutServed challenge.
Yes. Be sure to join us on February 26th at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you'll be able to see these lovely couples in action.
Yes.
Thank you. Hey, and while you're doing that, let's not forget to get power.
Yes.
I knew it was coming. Now
you know it's coming.
Yes. Gotta get ready.